Hey everyone, Truck Builder here. How's everybody doing out there? It's been a while since I've done a video. The reason for that is because, well, I've been extremely busy at work. Haven't had a whole lot of time to focus on hobbies or pretty much anything. Pretty much after work I'm beat and I don't feel like doing anything lately. So I have, though, been working on Voyager. It's been a slow haul, but I have made progress, and so it hasn't been a waste of time. I have been working on it. I just haven't been really motivated to do a video in some time now, but I thought it's been well overdue for a video, and it's Star Trek Convention week. Woohoo! I'm excited. I will be going to Vegas on Wednesday, so I don't know how many people around the Midwest are planning on going to Vegas this week, but if anybody is planning on a trip to the Star Trek Convention, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear who's going. I, for one, am going by myself, so it'll be interesting because I don't really know what to expect. I tried planning this trip as best as I could, but being that it's my first time to a Star Trek convention, some of it I just got to play by ear. But I'm not a big gambler, so and I'm kind of guessing the convention is going to be pretty filled with events going on for all 4 days of it. So, and I'm there for all 4 days. In fact, I'm there for the day before and the day after, actually. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, if you plan on going, let me know. I'd be interested to see. I'd be curious to know who else is going to the convention. So, and also I will be bringing my camera. So my plan here is I'd like to do some filming there. I know when you go on YouTube, you can see a ton of videos on previous years at the convention. So we'll give it a try. I might not do anything the first day. Who knows? It depends on how much is going on and how sidetracked I am. But my goal is to at least do some filming at the convention and do some videos. I probably won't upload any of the videos till I get home. But either way, because I ain't going to have, I highly doubt I'll have internet access and the ability to upload it while I'm there. So I probably just do all the uploading when I get home. But anyway, that is the plan for actually this week. I forget today's Sunday, so back to Voyager here. Well, if you remember, this will be the first kit I'm going to light. This will be my first attempt at it, and I've gotten through all of the windows, which was painstakingly arduous. It was a very tedious job. And my first time drilling out windows, which, thank God, I have the right tools to do the job. Thank goodness I only screwed up on maybe the first few that I did, and I really quickly caught on how to do it. So I took my time with it. So actually, it hasn't been that long ago since my last video that I actually completed all the windows. I also bought this from, oh my God, Paragraphics. This is the Voyager photo etch kit, and I'm kind of back and forth on this photo etch kit. I have been using it for all the windows that they give you, but a lot of the detail parts, like the photon emitters and some of the other, I believe some of these are some of the escape pods. There's some other details here outside of windows that you add to it. And I've been kind of up and down as to whether or not I want to use these or if I want to use decals. Not exactly sure where I want to go with that. I might just leave it with the windows only and use decals. I'm not really sure, so I'm kind of playing it by ear at this point for that. So, without waiting any longer, let me swing the camera around here so you can see where I'm at with the windows and how I've done the photo etch. And I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm going to, hold on. As you know, I'm not the greatest cameraman when it comes to holding this thing. But here we are. This is my Voyager. And let me get in focus here. So far, where I am at is I've got, here is the fuselage, or the hull. I actually have gotten all these windows drilled out. And if you hold it up to the light, you can actually see through. And as you can see, these windows are tiny. And I mean tiny. These took a long time to drill, to file, and sand. Mostly files. I found, and I think I may have showed it in my last video, but I got these precision microfiles that are a must if you are going to build this kit. And when I say by this kit, I mean the Revell, the Germany version of the re-release of the Voyager. So the Voyager re-release was done in 2009, and it was done by Revell Germany. So if you want this kit, you do have to find it online. That's the only experience that I've had with it. So let me zoom in here. And trust me, these windows are not perfect. There's a lot of imperfections, but I mean, they're small. So I just said, you know, at some point you think that they look good, then you got to stop. But that's where I'm at. Here's the one side. Focus here. That is the one side. Here's the other side. In fact, I should probably be turned around. So I think personally they turned out beautiful. I held it up to the light. I've used a couple LED flashlights, some small ones, and I've stuck it in there, and you know, just to get an idea of what the light will look like. And I think it's going to look beautiful once I get the windows complete. And here is the saucer that I've been working on. Here's the bottom. Actually, this is where I first started. I started out on the bottom windows just because I figured that they would be the least seen. So that's where the least obvious. So, and in fact, they actually turned out perfect. So, and I'll get into, as you can see here, I also added the photo etch, and I'll get into that more in a second. But for now, I just wanted to show you where I'm at with the windows. So as you can see, the saucer has got the most, and man, these were really tough. When you got more on the outer side, like around here, they weren't so bad. But these back ones, where the seam is right here, this plastic is so thick. I ended up breaking one drill bit on my first attempt towards the back here, back by the neck, and like down in this area, it was really tough because that plastic is so thick where it curves around. But really, they turned out beautiful. As you can see, and I only made a few mistakes on the saucer, but nothing to where I was gonna do any major corrections or modifications. But that's where I'm at. Now, as far as the photo etch goes, here's the sheet, and as you can see, I'm almost done with all the windows, the window ports. There are a couple left that I got to do, but again, you have these photon. I don't know if these are sensor bands or what the heck these things are right here, but there's a whole ton of detail, and I just don't know to what extent am I going to do this. I've thought of adding. Where are they here? These right here. Oh boy, I have nothing to point with. These ones right here are for the tabs that go right into here. Now, it would have been nice if this was just one all set, just one piece, but it's not. You got each individual piece, and you kind of have to lay it down, and you got to center them, and it's curved, so it'll be interesting. I don't know yet if I want to use them or not. Same with like here. You have, where are they? Like these parts here. These parts also go, where are they here? Like right here. Here is one location. Here's the other location, and I believe there are two for one for right here and one for right here. I'll probably go ahead and use those, but I also like the decals. So the problem is that if once you use the photo etch, you're better off just airbrushing or brushing on and just painting them instead of the decals. So I'm kind of uncertain at this point how I'm going to do that. So that's where I'm at right now with the photo etch. Here are the windows that I did. And let me zoom in so you can get a pretty good idea of what this looks like. So I got all the photo etch there, which before you would just end up using the factory plastic window, the clear windows, I believe, that get inserted in these spots, like right here and right here. These here were really not difficult, but they were really tedious because I had to bore out the holes and then cement these into place. Now when you use the photo etch like this, you need to use CA glue or super glue. So super glue is what I used to get these into place. Another piece of photo etch that they give you is right here. And this is actually nothing permanent that you leave on the model. This is actually a window guide. And if you see here, let me focus here. This little brass piece, you just only get one of them, but it's a window guide for the top here. And if you look at the top, there's these small windows that go right here. And right there. These were not on the kit to begin with, so I actually had to use that template and drill out those little tiny windows, which actually they turned out really good. I'm not complaining about them whatsoever. And here's some more of the photo etch, the windows. And let me tell you, at first I wasn't certain if I wanted to use the photo etch, but man, they really enhanced this model a ton with the windows. So I went ahead and I used them, and they turned out just beautiful. Now the only problem that I noticed when I installed them, if you flip this upside down and you look in here, lighting isn't exactly the greatest inside here, but if you look, you will see that you glue them to the plastic, you CA them into place. Well, the only problem with using these is that the model actually kind of has, like right here, it actually has a bend. So the brass is kind of hard to bend, but you hold it in place and it glues fine. But there are gaps. So for light leaks, that could be kind of an issue. Right now you can't really, you can't tell where the light leaks would be, but it's like down in that crease there, and up in the creases and in the corner creases there, you do get light leaks. So what I thought I would do, and if you follow Steve Neal's videos, he's done this exact build-up with this photo etch kit, and Steve Neal, he's used like foil tape. I believe he used foil tape to prevent any of the light leaks. Well, I had this stuff that I bought a while ago, and it's this here. It's called Mr. Surfacer, and I'm guessing a lot of modelers use this stuff because, let me tell you, it is awesome. Mr. Surfacer 500, it's a gray. It could almost be constituted or classified as a primer. It's pretty much a sandable primer. It's a really, really thick paint that dries like a putty, or it paints on like a putty, but it's much, it's not the consistency of putty. It's more the consistency of a very thick paint. And what's nice about this is that it dries fairly quick, and it's sandable. But in this case, what I thought I would use this product for is, instead of using like foil tape, I thought I'd give this a try, and I've only got one coat on right now, and I'm planning on doing another coat on this, but I used the Mr. Surfacer, and what I did is, like, all around where you see here where the windows are, what I did is I just went ahead and I dabbed on a little bit of Mr. Surfacer all the way around here, just to kind of like cover up all the, or clog up all the cracks that are showing through, or all the light leaks. So I used this product. I just used a toothpick and I just kind of dabbed it all the way around, making sure not to get into the windows, of course. But I you know, after this stuff dried and I held it up to the light, the stuff worked really good. And I don't think it's going to crack on me or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it another coat of Mr. Surfacer all the way around these windows, and then I think they should be good. So that's where I'm at with that. I have not put any Mr. Surfacer yet on the bottom. Here's the bottom windows, and if you flip it on the inside, the bottom side is a little bit easier to see how the photo etch looks like once they're glued into place. And they turned out really good, actually. I could say one thing about the photo etch, though, the instructions. I think that Paragraphics, their kits, and you know, I think I've bought from them once before, and their photo etch is just beautiful. It turned out, I mean, they turned out absolutely beautiful. The downside with this is that the instructions are a little left to be desired. The only problem with the instructions is that there's a lot of typos. There's a lot of things that, like, well, and I told myself I wasn't going to critique this these guys' quality or workmanship, because, you know, if you pay attention to what you're doing and you look at the parts, it's going to be obvious where the parts go. So I really didn't want to talk about this, but, you know, it's still a good idea to bring it up, just because if there's any newbies out there, or anybody new that's never worked with photo etch before, or these type of instructions, I just want to call this out, because it's important that you don't want to make this mistake, because if you end up damaging any of these, then you're stuck with a $30 purchase that is useless. So, or you end up having to buy an extra set. So one thing that I noticed is that if you look here at this here, it says 39 has this two piece window that goes into place there. If you look down here, well, where did it go now? Okay, call me a liar. Okay, my mistake. It was the bottom half here, underneath. If you look underneath here, these single windows calls out number 38. Well, this big window, if you look, it's the same number. Well, that can't be. And it's just miscellaneous things like that. And another problem is that if you look at this window that calls out for 38, it calls out 4 of them. That's actually not true. 38 is not the window that goes there. 38, there's only 2 of them. And those 2 windows are actually for the upper saucer that goes here on both sides. There are 4 windows, but those 4 windows, and I can't remember what the number is off the top of my head. I don't remember. It might have been 39, but anyway, the number that's calling out for these windows is not correct. This is not the part for this section. There's only 2 of these windows, and they go up here. So, anyway, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this, because it's not important right now. So, anyway, I got these still to, I guess you could say, light block, or Mr. Surface. I got a Mr. Surface these windows. And I also got a Mr. Surface these windows. Here's the sides. Haven't done anything with these yet. So, after I get done putting all the Mr. Surfacer on this, then I am going to go ahead and start working on sanding this. One thing that I'm going to try is I bought this product that, oh, excuse me. This is one product that TrekWorks actually uses, and told me that he has had good success with it, and I'm going to give it a shot. The one that he uses is not Duplicolor. He actually uses DuPont's product called Plastic. I, for one, cannot find it anywhere locally, but my local Napa or O'Reilly's Auto Parts sells Duplicolor, and they have an adhesion promoter. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm only going to use that on the internal pieces just because I'm going to use that so that when I hot glue all my wires and my LEDs in place, I won't have to worry about the parts falling off in the future. So TrekWorks suggests using adhesion promoter before laying down your primer, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to put that down first once I get all the Mr. Surfacer on and dried, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay that, sand it first. Actually, he recommends that you use like 600 grit sandpaper and kind of sand the whole underbody, spray that stuff, and then spray your primer. And then once I get my primer on, everything should be light blocked, so I won't have to worry about any light leaks bleeding through this plastic. And then when I get done with that part, once I get everything painted, I am going to try and use this product. This is something I ordered on a dental website, and Steve Neal also uses this stuff, and it's called dental acrylic. I have no idea how this stuff is going to work. This particular brand, anyway. If it was the brand that Steve Neal uses, then I would feel a little bit more comfortable. But I could not find any of that stuff. Cheap, anyway. I did find it, but this stuff is a lot cheaper. This is Opticryl Clear Dental Acrylic. Powder. This is all powder, and this bottle up here is the monomer, and the monomer is what you drip onto the powder, and then it forms your windows. So once I get done with all the paint, then I'm going to start working on the windows, and hopefully those will turn out good. I'm hoping so, because for both of those it wasn't cheap, and what wasn't cheap was not the fact that this was expensive, but shipping and handling was just a ripoff, I think, but whatever. So that's what I'm going to use on the windows, and that's where I'm gonna be at. So that is the update with Voyager and the convention. So that's my plan. I'm going to go ahead and again finish putting the Mr. Surfacer on the photo etch. Then I'm going to go ahead and start with the primering process, getting the primer laid down, and then I'm going to work on putting in the dental acrylic for the windows, and that's where I'm at right now. I have ordered, I'm learning a lot by other people's videos. Steve Neal just did a video recently, and if you follow Steve Neal's videos, you know that he is working on Space Command, which I am excited about. I'm looking forward to Space Command, ultimately coming out, and I really like the progress, and I like how watching Steve Neal's videos as far as him doing the spacesuit and all that right now, it looks perfect. Really learned a lot. But anyway, getting back to what I saw, he received a kit from Madman Lighting, and I looked at that board, and then I went online because I've been looking for which flasher board am I going to use. So I've decided, after talking to a few different people that sell the flasher cards or the driver boards for the LEDs, I ended up deciding that Madman's was the one that I was going to go with. Primarily it was cost. It looks like a great product. The cost was very reasonable. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail, and I still have to do my homework and find LEDs and strip lighting. I will probably be looking on eBay for all that, just because I'm trying to conserve as much money as possible. And that's a crapshoot. I mean, you never know what kind of quality LEDs I'm going to get, but Hopefully, you know, my field that I work in at my job is a lot to do with LEDs, and I really don't think overall there is such a thing as a bad LED. I think it's just a matter of what your application is, how often you use the LEDs, and how, you know, soldering and all that stuff. I mean, if you have a good solder technique down and you don't plan on running your Starship 24/7, I think for the most part most LEDs are sound. I don't think you should have too much of a problem with various manufacturers, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's where I'm at now, and I'm looking forward to this week. I think the convention's going to be a lot of fun. Granted, I'm going by myself, but I'm hoping to meet someone out there and hang out with, at least talk and hang out with some people that might be going by themselves, or, you know, and if not, no big deal. I think it'll be fun either way. So let me know if you're going, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm done talking about Voyager for now. It'll probably be a little bit before I make any updates. I'll probably do an update after I get done with the doing the inside primer, just to show you how I light block everything, and then I'll probably do a video then, and then one more after I get done do an update with the windows once I get them filled in. So that's where I'm at. I hope everybody has a good week this week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks a lot. Truck Builder out.